siang, Pak. Saya Adamudi Firdaus dari jurusan Bisnis Informasi Teknologi. Kelas saya di LA 80. Saya ingin mempresentasikan tentang hasil final exam saya. Nomor 1, based on marriage timing and tense from the marriage plans and kid festival plans are not too far when I will attend, but nomor 2, if not possible, I will attend marriage of friend and enjoy the kid festival next year. Scenario 2, you are a working parent and today there is a parent-teacher meeting at your child's school. Morning, your manager calls up and informed that you need to be available for today demo, which is clashing with the time of PTM. Nomor 1, I will ask my husband and to attend PTM. If not possible, ask teacher to prep one postpone the PTM timings for my kids. If physical presence not required for demo, I will attend on phone. But proposing one scenario, let's say that fan or ventilation system in this hall is not proper and you need to convey it to the admin. Number 1, I will intimate to office boy casual. If there is no result, I will resort a mile. Style no use directly. I will discuss with admit that. Scenario 2, you found a defect in an application and you are not able to reproduce it consistently. I will try as many times as possible to find root cause. Then try to take screenshot video, then post to the developer. If it not produced the develop improvement, I will know the bug and create improvement to the developer. ID generation, browsing on mobile. For the report, there is a student fire in the building. What will you do? Run away from the building, call to the fire station, try for possible of intermediate action to reduce the fire before fire engine come. How you will test a pen? By reaching usability, you base it on comfort, security. If any link leak a performance based on quantity, look and feel by seeing up to date as per the market by comparing with other competitive pens. as the LLC will give results softly, but in the today world we need to some result as soon as possible with accuracy. What is the need of the testing when you already doing regional testing? The testing is done whether the result fits properly or not. Regeneration is very because of it. Is there any impact on other areas? Disney, as a car manufacturer company, you perfect 5 consultative complaints about what there in new car. I will discuss with the supplier to know the cause of the problem. Terus the collision status of the best to finals. Delete all warning errors, misses, element result change process, letter trigger and interactive trigger. Include in process interactive trigger, positive input, segmentation trigger, and in process return trigger are not deleted. Next, composition processing allow you to calculate new base composition amount for your employees based and quantity adjustment, merit increase target and performance. If your PC is running low on free pass, you might to be able to install important Windows update and your PC performance may be affected. And this suggestion are listed in order to so start with the first one. See if that help and then continue to the next one if it does not. Lalu di sini explore the capability of the leave and absent workspace in human resources. Learn how to configure leave and absent parameter. Learn how to create a leave and absent plan in human resource. Learn how to create eligibility list for compensation plans. Learn how to enroll employees in compensation plans. Learn how to process compensation plans. Monitoring requires a set of tools from technicians and ensure controlling machine must be put in place to direct the project back on its paper track. Lalu the float standard of perform. This set the stake for defining goals that will be achieved when project tests are accomplished. Plan and project. The plan must contain measurable goals, milestones, deliverables, and will define budgets and schedule that takes in consideration project types, conditions, and constraints. Which measures should be collected? What is the purpose? What kind of question and they answer? How will collect them? Milton's article even are that expect to occur at a certain time in the project. Lifetime manager use them to determine project status. Complaints of the master test plan. Complaints of branch conference for all units. Implementation and testing of test handsets for need integration of major subsystem. Degree of branch conference accomplished so far. Number of tasks case the float unit time. Developing test plan with a first resort set aside for controlling and monitoring. Set training in tools methods for test process monitoring and controlling, including configuration management, style test criteria for acceptance test. In the test case of software custom built for the specific client, the client should be asked to give input on test criteria that indicate the completeness of the acceptance test. Not the bug ID column. For any test case they fail, this column should contain the bug differ from the bug tracking database. The T column contains the value of tested case. Testing process testing service provider include any organization that offer test service to client. Unfortunately, these sales and marketing people might not have techniques sophistication or a particular skill in testing, acquiring professional in software in the 1990 the years simultaneous version of the Telecron and the Cron double in 2000 combined with the UA to key and error conversion when done, making the software industry and its customer more comfortable in price conscious. Information flow a tremendous amount of information flow across organization boundaries as part of testing in and out cross project. Software of mentors, tester, and test manager are well positioned to become essential project participant. Hacker might be safer than doing project in house, but in either much more complex and thus riskier. Technique, the analysts are likely to be invited to code review, so let's go to Brian Matrix code review checklist, which he calls question catalog. The catalog has several categories of questions the developer should ask themselves when going to their code. Do we our way of increase that as then file we create in which is it possible to reset a file pointer while it is pointing to an open file? Are this correct? Do they mean what we want them to mean? Number 2, review also have the advantage of a two-phase approach for defect detection. Phase 1 has individual first reading the reviewed item, and phase 2 has the item read by the group as a whole. Number 3, inspector have the advantage of the checklist, which call their attention to specific areas that are defect prone. Next, additional goals may be to establish credibility with author project document and familiarization with the item begin review. The review planner must also keep in mind that a given item to be reviewed might be too long and complex for a single review meeting. The Smart Planner partitions the review item in components that are of a size and complexity that allow them to be reviewed in 1-2 hours. If viewing a software item is a tedious process and requires great attention, and thus the manager need to be sure that all are purposes for the review and that the review meetings stay on track. The final item to meet the purpose of a review is to avoid a software artifact, not the developer or author of the artifact. Reviews should not be used to evaluate the performance of a software analyst, developer, designer, or tester. This approach requires defects from past release or similar project. The defect distribution on and total defect is known for this project and is applied to make estimates of the number and types of defect for the current project. Comprehensive assessment. The document after discuss the comprehensiveness of the test efforts as a press to test project, the object and test compliance criteria as described in the test plan. As dysfunctional as this before are, you will have to deal with them even if author recognize to attack as more appropriately directed at the problem rather than at the reporter. You the probable one lead to your defense. System testing companies the inter-system for integrate sometimes as in installation usability testing. This test look at the system from a customer or an user point of view. Loss of that hardware damage or the safety issues. Loss of functional with no workaround. Next, complete loss of system value. Possible acceptable reduction in system value content to affect our user. Limit impact to few user. Infrastructure as a service since infrastructure as a service store and network differ as a cloud service because of visualization. Number 2, missing product that the most common errors are usually because of missing product that you will encounter a high number of issues if you even upload all of the correct. Therefore, the product includes size, color, description, imagery, specification, or even styles. Number 3, learning including development of course and system for technical and library study program. Only laboratories intelligent testing use physiologists evaluation of and plans course in portion to traditional course mediation in visual information and methods to speaker verification. Sekian presentasi dari saya, kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Selamat siang Pak Suroto dan terima kasih.